Hello, I'm so excited to be with you. So, April was very initiatory and started a lot of things. So much shifted. Curious to hear in the comments what shifted for you specifically or what you began. And this month gives you a little bit, I feel like a little bit breathing room, a little bit of an opportunity to ground some things for you in your physical body. A lot of times when we're taking that much action or we feel the push and our lives are changing rapidly, our body sometimes feels like the last to catch up. So I think this month is going to be very much grounding a lot of stuff in. And so I'm excited to get this month's Soulcast and Energy Report for May 2026 to you. My name is Donnell Davis. I'm a channel, a healer, transformational mentor for nearly 25 years. I use these reports as an opportunity for you to tap into the soul of your soul, of the energy of the collective, and to really work with what's possible for you. So I will be channeling, even though I pull a card, I'm channeling the whole time. Quick couple updates. Two things. One is I'm hosting a 1-day retreat in San Diego on June 20th. So if you're interested in learning more about that and you're in San Diego, reach out to me. It's going to be incredible. Secondly, I am going to be starting a new program that's going to be about 6 weeks long, and it is all new material, you guys. Everything that has been percolating for me in my life. And so the theme is still going to be around the leading lady and the creativity of writing a new story, letting go of the story that's been told over and over again that no longer resonates for you, that's limiting you. But we're going to be really diving deep into the body and the subconscious and activating the soul's messages, because you're not going to just write any new story. You're going to write a story that's aligned with where your soul wants to take you. And I've created this really incredible process through dream work and through working with the body through an entirely new way so that the new story emerges through you. So if you're curious about this 6-week program that includes, by the way, the San Diego retreat, and it does include a one-on-one session with me, it's going to be a hybrid. So it's going to be those plus some teaching and some deep coaching slash healing for each participant. It's going to be a small intimate group. But if you want to learn more, just comment leading lady in the comments and I will share. Okay. So to get into the energy base. So first, we had a big full moon in Scorpio on the 1st. So we just like kicked off this month with just truth being revealed. So Scorpio comes in hot, it's illuminating. It shows you what's operating underneath the surface. It's oftentimes those things that you think are not a big deal anymore, and it shows up and you're like, oh, okay. So eighth house Scorpio is mystery. It's very psychic in the realm of shadows. Like it sees the things that most people can't see. And so sometimes it's really penetrating and it's challenging. So if you're coming off of the full moon and you're like, whoa, what was that? It's okay, but it also has to do with money and resources, partnerships. It is, a money house, and it also has to do with like the taboo and the psychology of things. So yeah, all that to say, whatever you discovered, whatever showed up for you, use that as an opportunity to course correct if you need to figure out, okay, this came up. What do we want to do about it? So that's Scorpio energy and its deeper themes. Now, I pulled a card for all of May, and it looks kind of negative by first glance, but it's suffering in silence. It's a number 9 card. So that denotes, nines always denote completion. If anything, it's so close when we have that a 9, because it's saying, okay, you're coming to the end of a cycle. And then typically it's 10, which signifies going, it's like still the ending, but the new beginning. But in numerology, it's 1 through 9. So we're also in a 5 month, which 5 is all about change. And I'm sure, you could add it up and it might be something different, but I'm just talking about like May is the 5th month of the year. That's what I'm talking about. So For this card, okay, so that you don't kind of spin out and go, oh my gosh, are we going to have a negative month? What does that mean? It's an opportunity to put to rest something that was illuminated specifically at this full moon. And if nothing was illuminated for you, well, it has its kind of shadowy effect where it'll last like maybe a few days after the full moon, into like the week after, but or it was already illuminated before the full moon. What I mean by that is there are certain stories that we are running that we aren't always privy to. And when the shadow content gets brought up to the surface, it's not to torture you. It is really for you to say, okay, enough already. I don't want to keep perpetuating this story anymore. I don't want to keep this going. And so suffering in silence means you're keeping it all in. You're not talking to anybody about it. You're kind of lone wolfing it. You're not getting the help that's necessary or needed. So I want you to see this month as an opportunity to get support in telling a new story, creating a new belief system, stepping into, which is so funny because that's what my whole program is about, by the way, is telling a new story because it's so easy to be like, well, this is what's always happened. And therefore, I'm going to just keep unconsciously repeating. So I'm going to give you an example because I think examples help. I wound up getting a hypnosis this morning from a dear friend who I trained with when I went through some hypnosis training. And I had, it's been coming through my dreams, but I always had this feeling of feeling trapped. So whenever something's not working in my life, wherever it is, relationships, health, money, I start to feel trapped. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel trapped. I can't move. I don't know what to do. And then it causes this response from me almost of like freeze. And I started to recognize this and I was like, oh my gosh, this has been with me my whole life. So I asked in hypnosis to look at it. And sure enough, it comes from like my pre-verbal years where I was taking, feeling a lot from my mom. And I won't go into like the details because it's unnecessary, but it's a story. It's not true. Like I wasn't literally trapped in a cave or trapped in a room or anything like that. It was more of an energetic environment feeling. And if I'm going to change that story, one, I wanted to identify and have awareness of where it originated from and the texture to it. It's like, okay, what is this all about? Because I couldn't really put words to it. But once I did that, I was like, okay, so this is where it's coming from. Well, what would it mean for me to tell a different story about this? Because it keeps me creating unconsciously over and over again situations where I can feel trapped. So I have to remove myself and heal myself and do all these things. So we're such complex creatures sometimes where we repeat our energetic environment that we grew up in, good or bad. And it doesn't even mean that you had to have big trauma, but it just means, and this is psychology, this is like Scorpio energy of this moon that I'm talking about, that's kind of like casting a light over. And it's actually really good because when you can work through your own psychology and understand, oh my gosh, I have this feeling of being trapped. These are the emotions. This is what it looks like when that happens. Then you're able to change it. If you want support in this, you can always message me and we can do a one-off session. But for me, it was, oh, okay. Now that I see it, I don't want, because I went all the way back to the womb, you guys. It was so fascinating. And in the womb, I could feel my mom's fear and panic response, and I could feel her like when she was happy. And the fear response was so big that it was like an up and like like it was like two totally different emotions, like both kind of high. Like I guess you could, one happy is high and the other one was low. Anyways, all that to say, I didn't mean to go into this long explanation. There is a part of me that runs through that cycle over and over again unconsciously in my life. And I'm the only one who could stop it. And it's because when I was in the womb, I was literally saturated in that environment, those emotions. So I got programmed. And so that high and low feeling is something that I've known. I'm not it's not overly, but like situations in my external environment, either I'll be really happy or I'll be fearful about something, but the consistency, that's what I get to work on. And so it's these stories where you recognize yourself playing out something unconsciously, and it's the other side of it is freedom. Okay, the other side is freedom. So it's really getting curious about what is the story that no longer aligns with my life. What are the things that I keep telling myself internally or even externally that I'm ready to retire, because this next level of embodiment is upon us. It's upon all of us. And it's a really beautiful month to embody who you're becoming, to work on that, to feel safe in your body, to feel more joy and pleasure, and to really heal some of those deeper narratives and the psychology. Okay, so that's for the month of May. So let me go into the week of the 4th and tell you what I'm seeing for the 4th. Let's see. Oh, so this is a beautiful card. So I, if you notice, I didn't pull a card for the 1st because I just kind of went into it, and because I'm doing this on the 4th. So I thought I'd just start where I'm at. So this is the Empress card. And I love that for the week of the 4th, we get this beautiful card that really deeply is in the body. And I want to say that what's interesting about this is I'm learning so much about the body right now. And I've been in this line of work for 25 years, and I'm always amazed at how much I learn. But first and foremost, this is about you have everything within you to manifest and have abundance. Like, you are resourced. And I think that is the first thing I want you to realize, because if you don't think you are, if you think somebody outside of you has the answers, somebody outside of you holds something that you don't. Now, I'm not saying to not get advice or anything, but this is about being empowered within yourself, not giving your power away to some external thing. Realizing this week that the more you're present, the more you're in your body, the more you're breathing, the more that you can bring forth into your reality. I mean, truly, this card is a very collaborative card. She doesn't do it alone. And there's this feeling of taking something that you've been working on, or some seed of something, and taking action on it. Movement, creation, not holding and standing still in what it is that you want to bring to the world. Okay. So it's a card that really, and you can see it's coming from her heart. It's not coming from the egoic space. So what is it that's been brewing for you? What is it that's in your heart right now that you're like, oh yeah, I've been working on this. I've been thinking about this. This is what I want to get out to the world, but I keep getting sidetracked, or there were so many ideas that were percolating last month. And it's like, okay, this is the week to kind of imagine that you're taking the energy and you're really kind of making it a little bit more compressed so that you can work with it. It's like making it more tangible, and being even simplistic and making a to-do list of like, okay, here's where I want to go. What do I need to do? What do I need to maybe reverse engineer? What do I need to write on my to-do list? Because this is an accomplishing energy, and accomplishing it through some action and some embodiment. Okay. I'm also, when I'm looking at this card, I very much get this energy of the throat chakra as well. Asking for help, that was something I saw with the card for the month. It's asking for the support, or reaching out to the person, not being afraid to use your voice and express yourself so that you can move further ahead and along. Sometimes we sit on things, we're like, oh, I don't want to say that to that person, or I don't want to ask that person for that thing because that's embarrassing. It's like, no, no, no. Like, put yourself out there. Do the things that you need to do to further you along with whatever it is that this week is asking you to move on, to take action on. And there's going to be a lot of support. And this is the week that you could see this get legs or get traction or move to the next stage of it or the next phase of it. So the Empress wants us also to be in a state of allowing. So much of the work, especially if you're a woman listening to this, is our yin nature, our ability to receive. And it doesn't mean that you have to do more per se. So often when I talk to women, they're operating from, I need to be productive. We are not little men, by the way. We are not men. And your energy works differently, and you need rest and you need to restore. You need to restore yourself and your body so that you can be the mystic, you can be the oracle, you can see the truth of your life, you can get the downloads. But if you're moving too quickly, it's hard to birth that thing, because then it's going to be through force when you want it to be more through right timing, right action. So even if you are a man and listening to this, that's the feminine principle, right? That you can use in this. But I'm also hearing that, like, don't force anything, like allow things to like click into place. It feels like there's very much this energy of like things can click into place of where they need to be. And then you'll see the synchronicities. If you're working against the energy, you'll also feel that, because it's going to feel really hard and it's going to feel kind of like clunky. Like you won't move as well with it. We do have this week the 5/5 portal energy day. So that's the fifth month, fifth day. So if in numerology, 5 is all about change. It's all about movements and shifting. So it works beautifully with this kind of fertility Empress card, because it's asking you to make the changes necessary to be able to allow. And the thing I wanted to finish with the body is it's hard to allow and receive more if you're depleted. If you're coming from a deficit and you're exhausted, you aren't the mystic, you're not the oracle, and your body is not able to receive the new or birth anything for that matter. So just think about how you're training your body this week, what it needs to do to rest and restore, and then how, and I don't mean every day you're sitting around, by the way. It just means that you find time for rest. Find time to go within yourself. Okay, so that's for the week of the 4th. And then let's see, for the 11th, let's see what comes through. Material harvest. Okay, what a fun card. And we also have a super new moon on the 16th in Taurus. And so that's really lovely and so supportive of this card. So this is a number 9 card. Material harvest is you seeing the benefits of the seeds you planted in the past, you getting the harvest, you feeling the tangible results in your 3D reality of whether it's money, support, things kind of coming to fruition. It's when, the crops are ready to be harvested and then you get to enjoy them. But like literally on this card, there's stacks of money. So that's fun. So this could be a very financially rewarding week for you. It could be abundant. It could feel just this sense of like, oh, things are coming together, and it feels really good, because for some of us, there's been a lot of tower moments. There's been a lot of having to let go of things in order to welcome the new. And this just feels like a very steadying energy. It feels if you're consistent this week and you stay on top of things, you're going to see some really great results. The consistency is important this month, being in your body. And I said it before, being present. So let's talk a little bit about Taurus because of the new moon. So that this new moon is really an energy of money and self-worth. And so Taurus is just getting a lovely break, because Uranus was in Taurus for 7 years and it just moved out of it on the 25th of April. And now it's in Gemini. So it's a totally new flavor, new energy. But Taurus is going to get a break from all the unexpected shifts and surprises and learning around money and learning around your self-worth and learning around your embodiment. So I'm not saying that there won't be any aspects with Taurus, but what I am saying is there's an opportunity to kind of find the new rhythm? Like, what did you learn about yourself over those years? Mine happened to be, because I'm an Aries rising, so it was in my second house of money and my self-worth. And I learned so much that by the time it was done, I was like, okay, I've got the lesson. I understand. I can't underprice. I can't do all, like, there's just so many little things that when I'm operating from not, when I don't operate from the fullness of my self-worth, and I worry about the changes in the coaching or this or that, and then I start to price myself according to that versus the vastness of who I am, my consciousness, and you're vast too. When we go into the small mind and the ego versus the vastness of our consciousness and our connection to source, we start to worry about our value and, oh, will people perceive this to be value? Or will people, should I price it so this could work for somebody else? It's like we lose the thread of connection. So wherever you're at in your reality, I want you to think about that. Like, are you coming from the vastness of who you are with your self-worth? Or are you coming from a small egoic place that's going to keep you limited and keep you operating from fear? And that plays in because we learned all these lessons. And so now we have this Taurus new moon where we get to plant seeds for our money. We get to plant seeds for our self-worth. And hopefully you learned something really beautiful and amazing while that 7 years was happening. And instead of having to keep going through any more lessons, like, set the tone for how you want it to be moving forward for these next 6 months. If you want to be wildly abundant, then set the tone for that. But who do you need to be in order to be wildly abundant? Who do you need to be to have this material harvest? And this week is going to give you a slide. It's almost like a slideshow of that. Like, you're going to feel that an element of the future for a lot of you. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm making some sales this week, or I hit my numbers, or I got the promotion, or whatever it is financially in your world. But think about the embodiment of the version of you that is wildly abundant and is making incredible things happen. Okay. And that will set you up very nicely for the new moon. And I think that material harvest too is this kind of thought of, when you believe that things can be really good, when you believe that anything is possible, what can you start to see in your reality? Can you see what's working out for you? Can you see that things are not always going to stay the same? Things are going to continue to change, right? So it's this energy of, I love that saying, how good can it get? How good can it get? But it starts within yourself and with you loving you and showing up from that level of self-worth. Is this something I feel like I work on with my clients all the time, because they could be the biggest badasses in the external reality, but behind closed doors, everybody has insecurities, everybody has issues. And a lot of the times, the most successful people are the ones that are the hardest on themselves because they had a challenging childhood and their coping mechanism is to be successful. And they're the ones that operate from this place inside of not enough versus wildly enough. And there's a vast difference in how you push yourself, how you live, all those kinds of things. And so it's one of those areas that it sounds so cliche, like, oh, love yourself more. But what I like to get into is, like, what does that actually look like? What would it mean if you were to see your business through the lens of love, or you were to see, the way that you're operating in your relationship through more love? And it doesn't always mean that, like, you're off the hook for something. It means most of the time that you need to show up in ways where you're being your most authentic self, that you have your own back so that you can continue to rise. Because the more self-worth you have, which means you know that you're inherently worthy, you're God's child, or however you want to say it, then you really don't have that many excuses to not show up. You don't. I know you can make plenty of excuses of, like, well, my voice, my value, my this, my that. And it's like, just have a deeper purpose and reason why you're doing the things that you're doing in life, and have a deeper reason in the sense of being of service And then there's more flow around the money. And I just want to say this last but not least, because I've been learning this so much. Money is just a tool, you guys. Money's not the problem. You may think the money is the issue in your life, but it's not the money. It's underneath it and the patterns that you perpetuate because you are in relationship to money. So how are you in relationships? And that's the rabbit hole you want to go down if you're going to be looking at clearing. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I love working on that. Anyways, moving on to the 18th. Let's see what we got going. Oh my God, this is so bizarre. I don't know how this happened, but I have this same deck has two fertility cards, and I don't know where it came from because I already pulled, because this is not AI, this is real. There's the other fertility card. So I can't even make this up. Like I was gonna say, I'll pull another card just to give it more flavor since we already have the Empress card. But now I'm like, which deck is missing the Empress card? Because that's such a good card. I pulled the patience and planning card with it as well. So we're going to tie it all in together. So patience and planning is very much it's pretty easy card to say, okay, patience, I have to patience for what I'm planning and building in this life. So I feel like because I pulled it with the Empress, this is also still, you're staying in that vein of new beginnings. You're staying in the vein of that new energy that you're still trying to embody, but this time you're stabilizing it even more. You're rooting it in. And this one has to do a lot with your consciousness, your energy, instead of this one feels to me like you're stabilizing the frequency. And so the other one was more your body. This one's the frequency. And it's similar, but it's your energy and your thoughts of how you're seeing these new things that you want to bring forth. And maybe it's like you've realized, okay, I started working on this. I'm having some traction. I kind of went to the next level, and now it's like, oh my gosh! And yet again, I get to go. I still get to ask for resources. I still get to go back to the drawing board and revise something because the patience and planning card is about stability. It's about staying still in that energy of Taurus. I don't know how much longer, we stay in Taurus for. I know that it's probably going to change signs later this week, but this is really this energy of I'm grounding this in, I'm stabilizing this in, I'm going to have patience for this new beginning that I'm ushering in. I'm going to make sure, and remember I said for the other Empress card, you're kind of reverse engineering, it's that same focus, but it's from the energetic perspective. It's like working in the energetic realms. And so there's lots of energy. I mean, what a great, these are like all fertility cards in the sense of fertility is like blessings, miracles, really great stuff. And don't forget, you can't do this alone because it's a 3 card, but so so this week, emphasis is on bringing in the people that are going to help you. I also feel a root chakra where this is the one where I feel like the timeline starts to really like materialize into your body and into your life, where you might see like, oh, this thing, like you're either feeling future memories or you're seeing something shift over and you're living something a little bit differently. And it feels really good. It's hard for me to explain, but it's a really fun energy. And back to the root chakra, I want you to look and see if there's anything in your physical body that's blocking you from fertility. So for some people, it could be literal. It could be like having a baby. Is there anything blocking you from the fertility of getting pregnant? For some of you, it might mean your diet, your supplements. Are you taking care of your body so that you can birth and have what you want? Um, and then is there anything in your immediate surroundings with your family that needs clearing this week so that you're not tethered to the past? Maybe there's a feeling of, I'm the first person in my family to make this much money, or oh my gosh, if I do this thing, then I'm going to surpass the people I came from, my ancestors. there's some form of a tether. And so I want you to honor your ancestors, but I don't want you to be tethered to the past. I want you to really focus on your ability to move forward and stay in that trajectory that you've been working on because of the momentum, the sheer momentum. So yes, that's what I want to say about that. And I just find it so fascinating. I don't know how that card got in there. I was like, wait a second. So we'll take it. It's like double blessings. It's it's saying you have the ability to allow yourself to receive more. And so I guess there's also that emphasis of making sure you're taking care. I already said your physical body, but with that, your emotions, the mental, the stories, the energetic, everything that consist of the story of your life, and making sure that whatever you're birthing and bringing forward, that it has the support. This is that's that patience and planning, is it's the support that's needed. And hopefully through these last couple of weeks before, you've gotten to see where there might be a deficit or something within you is not showing up, something needs to be worked on so that you can give it the go. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the 25th, and we have a full moon in Sagittarius that week. So let's pull a card for the 25th. And so we have the Truth card. And Sagittarius always is the truth teller. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to start with, so Sagittarius is expansion. And so is Empress in a lot of ways. It's very expansive because you're birthing something new, but you need to see the truth in order for you to expand, but not get caught up in just beliefs that limit, right? Because there's something about Sagittarius where it's the higher learning, it rules the ninth house, it's travel, culture, but it's higher learning, it's beliefs, it's very shamanic energy. And so life often finds its ways to tell you the truth. And because it's a full moon, it's going to illuminate something around your expansion, because it feels like this whole month is the ability to kind of bring things from the ethers into matter and see something move to its next level with that fertility card to birth things. Like, and the interesting thing about fertility is it's anything from like inception to birth. And so there's different stages, right? And there's so much sometimes preparation for that. But the truth, once it hits, it's like, okay, I can't unsee this. And this is the feeling of the last week is, okay, what do I need to see? What is the bigger thread that's running through my life right now that's either really supportive, and it comes down to beliefs too, because Sagittarius can be a know-it-all and it can be very dogmatic, because it wants to be spiritual and it's seeking. And I have 4 planets in Sagittarius as my north node. It's what I'm meant to do in my life. And what I know to be true is the more I learn about spirituality, the more I well, I don't follow any dogmatic things. I'm very open-minded, and as a seeker, I'm always wanting to learn, which is very Sagittarius. And so I want you to treat this week as a learning module of your life. And that Sagittarius on the 30th, so the whole week basically is trying to get your attention and teach you something new about yourself. It's trying to get you to see the bigger picture, not the small-minded picture, because that's not Sagittarius. It's expansive. It's like the worldview versus the neighborhood view, which is more like the Gemini energy. And so I want you to think, because we're going into Gemini territory. So I want you to think about, and Uranus just went into Gemini, so it's going to be shaking things up big time. What is it that your life is trying to get you to see and learn? And if you were to see it philosophically, what would be the lesson around it? So it doesn't have to be a harsh, mean thing from the universe. It could be something like really like, wow, when I'm kinder to myself, this is what it looks like. Or when I put myself out there. I meet new people, whatever it is that life is trying to show you this week. Think of it as your lesson in expansion. And it may show you through context, where maybe you're not showing up and then you're like, things aren't happening the way that I want. Well, it's because you're not putting yourself out there. So the truth will be revealed to you. It's the wake up call. It's the illumination so that you can get things in order. This feels like it feels almost like somebody put like numbers out of order. Instead of it being like 1 through 9, it's like all the numbers are flip-flopped. And this week it's about having, and I don't like to say linear process because I don't necessarily believe anything needs to be too linear, except like taxes and all that lame stuff. But it's about getting things back in their right order for you so that you understand the bigger picture, and what might be right for you is not right for the next person. This is not about conformity. This is not about, I want to fit in and be accepted. This is about the bigger picture for you uniquely, specifically, so that when the truth is revealed to you about whatever it is, like what needs to change or what new way or belief you can adopt so that you can see the world in a different way. This is Sagittarius is so much like the global citizen. I've always aspired to be a global citizen. And that's just somebody who travels a lot and understands different cultures and loves humanity for what it is. And we are very far away from that. But the reason we go travel is because we see that people live differently. And if you don't know that, and you think that like if you lived in like, I don't know, the Midwest and you never traveled anywhere, you don't know that what it's like to be around indigenous tribes or to be in Europe and experience that kind of those ancient buildings and structures like the Colosseum in Rome or something like that. It's the art, right? It's like you get life becomes very myopic and you only know what you see in front of you, and that's not expansive. I'm not saying it's bad if you don't travel. I'm just saying there's more to be discovered and seen when you put yourself out there in life and you learn about other people and other cultures, and you travel and you expand. So whether it's through that kind of modem or it's some other way, I want you to think, what do I need to do to expand? What is the curriculum this week? What's the teaching trying to show me? What part of my life needs to expand and grow? And have fun with that one. I love that energy because I just think it's like just amazing. And Sagittarius, I'm going to tell you, it has taught me something really interesting. It's taught me that it's not always about running away and getting away from life. It's about actually sitting my ass down and staying still and exploring my inner world. Because I'm the first person to get on a plane, and as soon as life gets difficult, I'm like, get me out of here. But even that is a little bit of a coping mechanism for when I feel heaviness in life. I just am like, oh well, I'll just go on vacation. And I had to learn that that makes it an escape versus going to a destination. And so I think part of this, for some of you, it may be the external, and for some of you, it may be like, I need to explore my internal world and get to know who I am and the parts of me that I haven't seen. And the truth, however that wants to show up, the truth will set you free. The truth may be initiatory. The truth may be confronting. The truth may be like, oh my God, I say that I want to be healthy, but I keep eating bonbons. Whatever. It's going to be something that you can't deny or ignore, and it's going to ask you to evolve, just like all the astrology does. So those are the themes. It's a pleasure to get to be with you. Share this if you think this would help somebody. Subscribe so you get my video updates, and so much love. If you want to explore working with me, just reach out to me. You can always message me here in the comments or email me. Take care. Have a great month, and I'll see you next month.